Okay, as promised on the title, today we're going to disembowel Littmann Master Cardiology, which is a black edition, Littmann Master Cardiology, and it has a story. It was my first Master Cardiology stethoscope, but I didn't know this thing has to be kept in a rather large case. I used a regular case for it to fit. It had to be rolled over like this, and this finally caused a malfunction in it, and I can't hear anything on the left side, and on the right side, well, it gets kind of dizzy. So I assume there was something broken because I can actually feel a couple of tubes right here, like the one that you feel right here, and I assume there was something broken inside because I couldn't hear anything. So I was having troubles replacing this tube. I mean, the official replacements are not easy to get right here, and you have to ask them on the internet, and I tried once, but it never came, and the generic replacements are rather expensive, and well, I wasn't so convinced. So I had this Medimetrics right here, which is a cardiology-like stethoscope, but it's rather economic. This one would be around, I don't know, 500 pesos or so. So I wasn't using it, actually. I mean, the ear tips, well, there's a rather large difference between these ear tips and this one. I mean, they are quite different. So I wasn't really using it, and I thought, well, why couldn't I replace this tube and add it to the final piece, I mean the chest piece, so I can actually use my Littmann again? So, well, let's see if it works. So, analyzing, I mean, they are rather similar. You could actually see that maybe the Medimetrics, it's a little bit shorter actually, but playing it fair after measuring it, they are about the same length. I mean, 27 inches in total from the beginning of the tube up to the earpiece. They measure the exact same length, 27 inches. It's the same thing. I mean, the main difference would be maybe right here in the center piece, where you can see that this one seems to be larger, and this one, the middle triangle, seems to be smaller, and that may be the cause for it to seem that the Medimetrics piece it's a little bit shorter, which in return would increase the accuracy of the sound. I mean, the shorter the tube, the closer it is the sound origin to your ear, and therefore the accuracy is better. But being honest and being fair, they length about the same thing, just because this one seems to be a little more closed in angle and this one is a little bit more open, and that gives the appearance of this one being a little bit shorter. But actually it's the same length. After measuring them, you could get the same length from both of them. So next part is the chest piece. The chest piece of the Medimetrics is quite similar to a Littmann Cardiology 4. This is the chest piece. It's rather heavy. It's nothing out of the ordinary. You can see that this piece, which is the one that inserts into the tube, is quite long. And well, since the Master Cardiology has a few years of service ahead of it, this is the original Master Cardiology chest piece. So it has a few parts missing. I mean, the outer rim and the membrane were taken off. I mean, they were torn to pieces because they cracked and broken, and well, I have to take them off, but this can be replaced quite easily. So this is the center part. This is what gets the accuracy, and it's rather different than than the one that we have here on the Medimetrics. So as I was saying, if you put them side by side, there seems to be a little bit of shortage between the Littmann, which is this one, and the Master Cardiology from the Medimetrics kind, which is this one. Seems to be a little bit shorter. But once that we take measurements of them, the main difference is right here. You see, this one seems to be a little bit closed right here, and this seems to be open, and that might be the reason of the difference between them. As I can show you in the photographs, the length is the exact same length. If you actually take measurement of the Littmann's length right here, you will be able to see that there are 27 inches all the way from the beginning to the earpiece. Okay? And it's the exact same length that you're going to find on the Medimetrics piece. I mean, there's actually no difference between the lengths, so it's a very similar tube. Here you can see the Medimetrics length, which is the exact same length from the beginning all the way to the final earpiece. So we are talking about two very similar tubings. Maybe you can also find the difference right here. This is the Littmann, and it has 1.2 centimeters of the outer width, and the inner width has exactly 0.7 millimeters. 7 millimeters. That's the width of the entrance of the tubing. And the Medimetrics has a much wider entrance of the tubing. It has about 1.5 centimeters of the outer width, and the inner width has almost a centimeter right here in the beginning, but it gets narrow on right here, because as you can see it gets narrow even though this is a longer part. So this might be a problem, because it means that the chest piece, it could get short, and right about here there would be a part with no metal in it, which be corresponding to this part, goes right here. And as you can see, the Littmann has a shorter piece to get in, so this part will be without any metal piece all the way to the tubing. So let me tell you, I tried to place them both, and actually I recovered some of the not some of it, I mean the whole hearing on the left here, right here, which I missed on the Littmann. I could hear actually, and as good as I could hear with this. Maybe once we use the outer rim and the membrane, the hearing would be improved significantly. So I think it's a good idea to replace this tubing, which is failing, with this tubing. So here comes the hard part. And the hard part would be actually cutting this tubing, which I must say it breaks my heart, because it was a quite good stethoscope. The other part that breaks my heart is because I really like the color. I mean, it is black edition, and as you can see, I'm not going to be able to replace this. I mean, look at this. It's beautiful. But let's face it, it is of no use to me like this. It's not working. The left ear is getting no sound, and I can work with it like that. So let's try and replace it with this one, which I was holding back there and wasn't of any use right there. So let's replace it and keep a rather good audio sound quality, and let's see what happens. Let's see what is happening with this piece that makes me suffer because I cannot hear anything on the left side. Okay, first things first. The ear tips are perfect, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I could use this on the other stethoscope. I'm not sure. Well, maybe I rather don't, because I don't see how. It seems like a full piece right here, and I don't think I'm going to be able to take this out. Well, I'm going to open it, so I'm going to be able to take that out, but I'm not going to be able to put it in without breaking the other tubing. So goodbye. Beautiful, beautiful mated black color. Once I got rid of the tag on the other stethoscope, I found out that the earpieces, maybe I could use the earpieces on the other stethoscope. I mean, they were just pressure, so maybe I can use them too. That would be a really good improvement on the other piece. So all things set, I have a little wood piece so I don't make a mess. And we have here our cutting instrument. And I finally see that both ear tips are different. This one has a metal nut right here, and this one is just by pressure. I got this piece out. And actually, maybe I could fit this little part. So let's see if this actually improves comfort and remains the same audio quality when using the stethoscope. So all things set, I think that we're gonna start cutting this. I don't know if I should start here or here, but well, I think that we should start right here if I really want to see what's in here. Well, by touching it, I don't feel anything. So maybe the defect is somewhere around here. I don't know why it's not working, but it's not working. And it's on the left side, which is right here. So I actually can feel something right here. So maybe that's where the defect is. There is no difference between this side and this side. But there's a piece here. And I can kind of feel something right here. On the inside, well, there doesn't seem to be anything. But okay, in that case, maybe it would be better to begin right here. So before I begin, among the other difference that I have to state between one and the other is that the Littmann is significantly lighter than the Medimetrics Stethoscope. I mean, the entire tubing without the chest piece is heavier. And well, actually the heaviest part of the Littmann is the chest piece. But if I compare it with this one, this chest piece is actually heavier than this one. And I don't think it's because of the plastic parts that are missing in this one. I mean, it's actually heavier because of the material. This kind of feels like steel. And this one is lighter. So, let's dissect the Littmann. I've previously cleaned that up with some isopropylic alcohol. That's been a while, so it's completely dry now, but it's all clean from any grease and stuff. And it's about time to open it. Oh my god, this is going to hurt. He would be murdered if it wouldn't be already dead. So, but it's kind of hard actually. It is not that soft, but I think I got it. Well, you might not be able to see it, but I managed to make a gap right there. It's not that much of a clean cut. It's deep. I got the entire width of it right there. And I can actually see the tubing that's inside, so let's go around the same part right there. Let's continue. Remember to put the safe on the cutter. I have quite a gap, but it's not a good enough gap for you to see. So I'm gonna try to make it big. There you go. Big gap. Let's unveil the secret. Well, not much of a secret right here. Single tubing. Nothing actually different right there. Here. It feels kind of distressed, but I think that was because of the cut. Okay. I'll open this up all the way to this point. Well, I think that I have some of the science discovered. I have here a gap, it's a little dot, and I think that this double-sided tube, it's double-sided but on the same tubing. I mean, I think I'm opening just the left side. So I think that if I make a cut on the exact opposite side, because right now that I'm touching it, I cannot feel that I'm touching all the way through. I mean, it seems like a big part right here, and I think that the double tubing is actually inside the tube. Somehow it got messed up somewhere on the upper part, and that's why I'm not getting any earring on the other part. So I'm going to make a cut on the exact opposite side first. Maybe I should mark it. So I'm gonna grab a marker. It's supposed to be a permanent one, but it's not. So it doesn't really matter. And this is the part that I already cut right here. You can see it because I'm gonna mark it so you can see the gap. Right there. Okay, that's the part that I already cut. This is the cut that I made right here, and we're gonna make a cut on the exact opposite side right here. Kind of tough, isn't it? Especially when you love it. And I didn't really make much of a cut. Try it. There you go. Got it. Got the cut. There is a cut right here. I got it, open it up, and I'm touching it on both sides. And yes, they are separated. I should be able to see the gap on the other side, which is right here. Right here, you can see a gap right here. And I already opened it on the other side right here. It's open on this part. You should be able to see a light between them because it's already open like that snake. But as you can see, there's no light between them. Look at this right here. Look at this. It's open. So the double tubing mechanism is built as a plastic inside, but there's like a wall inside. So I'm guessing somewhere it got broken and it's not transmitting any sound to the left part, which is this one. So I'm guessing it must be somewhere around here. So finally the secret is being laid down, and I guess it's safe to say that it will be an improvement if I change the tubing of the Littmann with the Medimetrics. So let's go over there and do that. So, well, this is the Medimetrics with the Littmann chest piece, and as I told you before, it's shorter, the metal piece, so there's a little piece that it's without metal, all the way here where you can see it's tougher. And I kind of have the feeling that the mechanism is very similar, but though it feels rigid, tough. Maybe that's why it's heavier. So finally, once I get a new diaphragm and ring, this will be a fully functional stethoscope, and I'm going to let you know if the sound improved. Actually, I think I can get this here, and then I'll let you know if the sound improves. So, well, finally, as you can see, the double tubing design is actually built into the tube, because as you can see here, you cannot see the other side, which has a cut right here. It's open. This one. open too, and I cannot put my finger through it because it has a wall inside. So I guess the defect somewhere around the road must have been broken somewhere around here, or maybe here, because I didn't get any sound on the left side of the stethoscope. And I remember when it was first failing, I used to move it around a little bit from tubing, and sometimes I could hear glimpses of the sound. So somewhere around here must be a defect. So I finally replaced the ear tips of the Medimetrics tubing with the Littmann's, and found that I have a pretty decent sound and a pretty decent hearing quality, and I didn't miss anything. All I did was remove the original tips, and it has a screw and it's a little bit wider, but since they are soft, I put them in and screw them all the way to the finish right here, and got a pretty decent sound even without the membrane, the diaphragm. And it's a good option for you to replace your damaged Littmann tubing with this one, which is wider, and I believe that it has a pretty similar mechanism, but maybe with different materials. But anyway, I already have a decent replacement of a Master Cardiology tubing without spending a lot of money. Maybe even a chest piece replacement right here. So this is a very good option. Thank you for watching, and hope that this is helpful for all of you. So, goodbye.